All right, welcome back. Max Tornow here, and in this video we'll be talking about how to find clients with money. All right, lead generation for online coaches, online service provider. So if you like the idea of making money more easily than most other people out there, then pay attention now, because what you'll learn in this video is number one, pricing and offer. All right, we'll also talk about generating leads, the by far best way to generate leads, especially in the beginning if you're starting out. We'll obviously also talk about closing, and I'll even give you a couple of tips on social media when it comes to targeting wealthier potential clients. So if you like these ideas, if that sounds cool to you, pay attention, let's get started.
Have you ever wondered whether there's more to life than a boring dead-end 9-to-5 job? Have you ever dreamed about breaking free, traveling the world, making good money, and just enjoying life? No more office dress code, no morning commute, no boss. This channel is for you, so here's to your freedom.
So right off the bat, I want to start with a very nice comparison here to just kind of give you a little bit of an idea in terms of pricing and why you want to be targeting clients with more money. And that is 10K a month. All right, 10K a month. Don't worry about my bad handwriting. You don't need bad handwriting to make 10K a month. I can tell you that right off the bat. So what do you have to do in order to get to 10K a month? Let's say, for example, we'll create a $100 info product, all right? This is something that most people falsely believe is the way to go. I'm gonna create an info product. It's passive income, everybody. How many of these $100 info products do you have to sell in order to get to 10K a month? Well, you have to sell 100. You have to sell literally 100 info products in order to get to 10K a month. And you don't have to sell that once, you have to sell that every goddamn month. Not so good, okay? This is not so good of an idea. Now, let's say, for example, you know what? This is the even whacker idea. This is by far even whacker. I'll do $50 an hour, all right? I'll do $50 an hour for my expertise. I'll do $50 Skype coachings, something along those lines. Especially when people starting out, they're like, oh, I'm gonna go have a fairly reasonably low price because I'm new, so I'm gonna do $50 an hour. $50 an hour payment. Now, how much do you have to do for $50 an hour in order to get to 10K a month? Well, if you're relatively good at math, you know that this is gonna take you 200 hours. You're gonna have 200 hours a month. How much is that per week? That's 50 hours a week. 50 hours a week of where you're just coaching. 50 hours a week, and that is how much a day? That is 10 hours a day. 10 hours a day? Are you kidding me? You have to do 10 hours a day in order to get to $10,000 a month. Do the math, goddammit. Math ain't lying. All right? And this is something that you're only wasting on actually coaching. This does not include the time that you need in order to sell these people. This does not include the time that you need in order to, create a brand for yourself or whatnot. This is literally you just coaching. Also, not so good, all right? Now, let's say on the other hand, check this out, all right? Have an open mind for this. $2,500 per client, all right? This is what we call premium priced. Premium price point, $2,500 per client. How many do you have to do? How many clients do you have to get in order to get to 10K a month? 4. 4 clients a month in order to get to $10,000 a month. Now this is very, very good. I'll take that all day. 4 clients a month. But Max, isn't it much easier to just sell a lower priced product anyways? If I figure out a funnel or a fancy online marketing funnel and a website that converts this automatically, am I not gonna be good? No. Because the marketing effort that it takes you to get one close for $100 is the exact same marketing effort that you have to do in order to get to $2,500, all right? You still need to be able to be visible for that client. You still need to be able to convince that client that you can actually help them. It's the exact same process. So you can do that exact same process times 100, or God beware, times 10 hours a day, or you say, you know what? 4 clients, $2,500 each. That is what we mean by pricing. Now, that bearing in mind, we're gonna keep that here on this little whiteboard here. That bearing in mind, let's talk about your offer. When it comes to offer, most people make the crucial mistake and they say, oh, the more people I can help, the better, right? The more people I can help, the more money I get in. Sounds kind of logical, right? But the problem is you're gonna go too broad, all right? This is very, very wrong. You're gonna go too broad when you say, I wanna help everybody. I can help all kinds of genders, with all kinds of age range, with all kinds of problems. I'm a jack of all trades, right? Because the more people I help, the more money I make. No, that's not true. You know, again, you've heard me saying this example before already. If you wanna go to a doctor because you have problems with your heart, right? To what kind of doctor are you going to go? Are you going to go to a doctor who's specialized in sports muscles? Are you going to go to a surgeon who's specialized in neurology? No. Are you going to go to a dentist, God beware? All these doctors spent a significant amount of their time in the same university. They have roughly the same education. No, you want to go to the heart specialist. Right? It's exactly the same with when you say, oh, I'm going to help everybody. No, you want to niche down and focus on helping a few people, but high quality potential clients. Right? And what do I mean by high quality? By high quality, I mean people who can afford your premium prices. $2,500. And by the way, on a side note, before I come up with the excuse now, no, it does not matter where you come from, okay? We literally have clients in our free business mentoring program making over $100,000 with clients from Romania, all right? And they're selling, by the way, similar price point as that, okay? It's all in your head, no excuses, okay? I mean, if you live anywhere in the Western world, North America, Canada, Germany, the Netherlands, but apparently even not so rich countries like Romania or Czech Republic, you can make the same, because again, you're not focusing on a broad mass. You're focusing on 4 people a month that have the money that you can apply proper sales skills to, that you could really help. All right, that is what I mean by high quality clients who can afford your premium pricing. All right, now what happens when you have higher pricing? Something miraculous happens. The clients that come to you on board, they have something that we call buy-in. They have a higher buy-in, okay? You create monetary leverage with these people and they have a higher buy-in. What does that mean? Well, they believe more in what you teach them. They execute more. And what does that mean in turn? If they execute more, they get better what? Results. They get better results, right? So they have better execution, better results, they're happier, which means happier clients increases the chances of them referring you, increases the chances of them writing amazing testimonials for you or testimonial videos that will make all the further closing easier. Now, you don't need testimonials in the beginning to start with, but having them is obviously a very, very nice thing, all right? So you get these high quality clients and you have very few clients. You don't have 100 clients that are just watching a couple videos. Guess how much they're going to execute? Not much. I know this because I have a YouTube channel here where people also watch tons of videos that give them great advice. Yet people don't execute because they have no leverage. All right. Now, what does that mean though? If you're only really working with 4 clients and not 100 clients, well, it's easier for you to scale. How easy is it for you to get from 4 clients to 8 clients? Still only 8 clients. With 8 clients a month, you're already making 20K a month, right? So you can see it's easier to scale. You can give better value and you can obviously also ensure that they get better results. Really is that simple. Now, by the way, we teach that in our Freedom Business Mentoring program. We teach the right positioning. We teach the right pricing. We teach the right coaching, how to coach your clients within your program. All right. Which brings me to the next point, generate leads manually. So we've talked about you got to have an offer that attracts these kind of people. How do you generate leads then? What's the best way? Spoiler alert, it's not creating a sales funnel. It's not creating a video sales letter. It's not having a big brand. It's none of these things. It's being able to generate leads manually. All right. In the beginning, getting your first 10K a month, generate leads manually. Anything beyond that, if you want to scale from four figures a month to 5 figures a month, from 5 figures a month to 6 figures a month, okay, that is where you can start thinking about automating certain funnels, etc., etc. But at the very baseline, you want to focus on generating leads manually, meaning reaching out to people via Facebook, reaching out to people via certain internet forums, Instagram, just generally and manually reaching out to these people and knowing how to get them on a phone call and knowing how to give them a great offer on the phone that they'll be willing and super happy to pay money for, all right? What does that do? If you learn how to generate leads manually, number one, it teaches you the thinking of your target audience, okay? AKA their problems. It teaches you how they think about their problems, what the frustrations are that they are experiencing with these problems. It also teaches you the language of your target audience. This is something that I see over and over people doing wrong. They don't understand the language that people are using. First business that I ran, dating advice business, I was so good at understanding my target audience because I was my target audience myself years ago. I didn't have a college degree in that. I didn't have a coaching degree in that, nothing. I was just a guy who had the exact same problems that my target audience was facing, right? And I made a couple million from that because I understood the thinking process of my target audience, because I understood the language of my target audience, right? And it also, this is the great thing too, it teaches you the solutions to your target audience's problem. All right? You don't have to come up with the solutions yourself and work on a $100 info product for 5-6 months before. No, get your first clients, work with them one-on-one. They will literally tell you what they need. And you can then use that, repackage it, and sell it to the next client, and so on and so forth. So no, you don't need to have a full program figured out yet. Get some first test clients. For God's sake, give it for half the price to your first test clients, if you will, because they're your first, but now they get to work one-on-one with you, and from there you learn more and more on how to fix their problems, right? We teach that in Freedom Business Mentoring. It really is much simpler than you think. And by the way, on a side note, I got a really cool thing that you can do literally right now already, and that is follow me on Instagram. We're gonna show my Instagram account here. Why is that important for you? Because I do Q&As on there. Because I post daily reminders and business value nuggets on there that can help you to crush it more in business, to understand the coaching market better, and so on and so forth. And also, the other Instagram account that I can highly recommend you is the Freedom Business Mentoring Instagram account. We're gonna show that here as well. On there, we're gonna show the most inspiring client stories of ours, so you can actually see that it is truly possible, because you see people who came from nothing, learn how to crush it, making the first 4 to 5, sometimes even more than 5 figures a month. And also, I'm personally replying to DMs on that Instagram account. All right, that Instagram account is a little smaller. It only has a couple thousand followers, so I still reply to every single DM personally on there. So if you want to ask me any specific business advice question, I will literally reply personally. So we're going to show both Instagram accounts here. Follow both of them right now. You probably have your mobile phone in your hand anyway. Check them out. Now, let's talk about closing. So you know what the offer is going to look like. You know how to get to your clients now. Let's talk about closing. What you got to understand is you don't need a degree. You don't need a degree in what you want to coach. You don't need a coaching certificate. The client doesn't care about that. You don't need to have years of experience in some theoretical knowledge about that. You don't need that, okay? Understand that number one, you can actually help every potential client simply by you holding them accountable, simply by you caring, simply by you listening, and simply by you having been in a similar situation as them. Right? And number two, understand that the client cares about one thing and one thing only: results. All right? They don't care if you have some schmuck degree. I don't have a degree. I printed this out. It looks cool. All right? I don't have 50 degrees hanging out in the background here. I don't have a college degree. I don't have a certificate. It doesn't care, because my clients just care about, hey, can this Max guy give me results? Right? And of course we can, which is why people want to become our clients. And it's exactly the same with you. Understand that the client only cares about results, and they only care about whether or not you can understand their problem and whether or not you can keep them accountable. All right? It's not about content. The content is out there. If it was about content, everybody would get results already. It's about opportunity, right? It's about being held accountable. It's about following a proven step-by-step path and getting feedback. And all these things you can do as an online coach or online service provider. All right? You got to understand that. And obviously, learn sales. Learn basic level sales. And this is something that I was scared of for so long in the beginning of my career. I thought, you have to be this born salesperson, just witty and charismatic and outgoing. I'm an introvert myself. All you have to do is learn 20% of base level sales skills, and that will already give you 80% of the results. Ideally, you have a script that someone gives you, and again, this is something that we do in Freedom Business Mentoring as well. We give them a script, we give our clients the exact things that they need to basically be digging for, the exact things that they can say in order to get to their first paid clients, in order to get to those 10K a month, and then scale beyond that. Right? Now, talk about scaling, last but not least, we have social media. But Max, do I need a big social media brand, la-di-da, whatsoever? No, you don't need it. It helps, it's great if you have it a little bit, right? But you do not need it. Okay, I always put it like this: money first, then brand. I get so many people coming to me and they say they've worked on their YouTube channel for months now, they created an info product for months now, they have a podcast and Instagram, or are they working on their brand first? They haven't made a single dime, they haven't made any money yet, but thank God for where they have a brand. A brand can help you, and it's definitely something great for the long term. By all means, I have a brand, a relatively small brand, but in order to get to your first $10,000 a month, any brand building that you're doing is literally just keeping you from actually making money. Look, you want to build a business here. You don't want to build a fake monopoly business where people think you're cool so you can write CEO of Schmuck Business Inc. on your Instagram. No. Business means making money. Money is the oxygen for your business. Without money, you can't help your clients. Without money, you can't even create content properly if you really think about that, because you got to buy an iPhone to be able to create that content. You got to be able to live or eat something or sleep somewhere. Money is oxygen. You have to focus on money first, okay? So basically what I want to say here is understand your target audience. And how do you learn to understand your target audience? By generating leads manually, all right? Because even if you do create content after all, it's not going to be focused enough. It's not going to be converting unless you know your target audience. So understand your target audience first, sell to them, and then you can slowly but steadily create a small niche brand, okay? Why do I say small niche brand? Because, you know, our egos get easily focused on how many likes do I get? How many followers do I have? How many subscribers do I have? La-di-da. Look, your success as business is not dependent on that. Neither is, by the way, your self-confidence, right? Draw self-confidence from within. It doesn't matter how many likes you're getting. And by the way, I know people that have, 3,000 followers on Instagram, and they literally outsell influencers with hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions of followers. The follower amount does not count. It makes no difference, all right? Stop looking for likes, stop looking for followers. Focus on targeting a small niche audience that can afford your high ticket programs, all right? And focus on delivering to that exact audience and nobody else, okay? That also means in terms of content, stay in your niche. Don't go general, okay? I've had a client who was teaching programming and they literally cracked 100,000 just recently. And he would also be like, he would create this perfect, amazing, great self-help content, but it's not in his niche. It was not in his niche of teaching programming. They would go way too broad, and then a bunch of dabblers would press like, but at the end of the day, it would not convert. You can always go further later on, all right? You can always go a little broader later on, all right? And this is, again, something that we teach a lot in Freedom Business Mentoring Program, and obviously once our clients do hit the $10,000 a month, we basically help them create content more consistently. We help them scale those things up, build a small brand out of that first, and then build a bigger brand if that is what they want, okay? Sometimes they don't even want to create a big brand. They just say, I want to scale up to 100K without being known, without being recognized anywhere. That's possible too, all right? But what you got to understand is that, we can show some testimonials here. What you got to understand here is that you don't need to be a 10 out of 10 expert. You don't need a degree. You don't need to have a big brand in order to get to your first 10K a month. Simply follow the steps that I've just told you. And obviously, if you want us to help you get there, I got something very, very cool for you. And that is you can literally jump on a free consultation call, either with me personally or with an expert from my team. And on that free consultation call, we'll be basically looking at your specific situation, and we'll be working hand in hand together with you on creating a step-by-step structure for you to break free from the 9-to-5 hamster wheel that you might be in right now, and to finally build a successful online business that allows you to be wealthy and free enough to do whatever you want. All right, so if you like the idea of becoming free as an online coach, online service provider, click that link in the description right now. It brings you to a page, read what's on that page, and then at the bottom of that page, you can fill out the application and you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. Entirely for a free call, no hidden fees whatsoever. This is especially important for you if you have a skill and you want to monetize it. This call is for you, all right? If you don't know what it is that you can teach, possibly this call is also for you. We know the market, we can analyze your strengths, we can tell you what exact model fits the best. Most importantly also, if you're already making money, but you want to make it more legit, you want to make it more long-lasting, you want to scale it up to 5-6 figures a month, we can help you with that as well. This call is for you as well. Just book the call. If the link still works, it means we have a spot open. Usually these calls fill out fairly fast every week, so we have very limited spots. If the link still works, it means we have a spot for you. Take action, right? Don't just X out of this video. Watch the next Netflix episode whatsoever. Make some money. This is your future, goddammit. You got to pull the trigger. You got to say, yes, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and start controlling my own life. All right, so maybe talk to you very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and GG.